Hey everyone, we're back. We're on page 3. So we are going to take a look at these, try to crank these out again. But some of these problems are different from 11 to 12. They have changes, so you might just want to make sure you understand how to do this. So we are going to construct 3 pens, not 2 this time. So here's my rectangle, 1, 2. You can see that I have 3 bases. I am going to call the whole long side Y, and I'm going to call the short side X. It wants to maximize total area. So my primary equation is going to be area equals X times Y. Okay, got it. Life is good. So I also know that this would be a length X, and this would be a length X, and this would also be a length X, and I was given 100 feet of fencing for that. So my secondary equation is going to be 150 equals 2 Y's, that's top and bottom, plus 4 X's, because that's how many would make the 3 regions. A lot of people goof that one up. So I'm going to choose to get the Y by itself. 2Y is going to equal 150 minus 4X. And Y is going to equal 75 minus 2X. So by choosing the Y, it kept it a whole number. If you would have chose the X, you might have a fraction in there. That's okay. You can still work with fractions. I choose not to. So my new primary equation is going to be area equals the first X now times 75 minus 2X. Again, if you love product rule, go ahead, take it. I am not going to do product rule. I distributed that X first and made that 75X minus 2X squared. And now I am going to take the derivative of that with respect to X. So my area prime is going to equal 75 minus 4X. And I can set that equal to 0. 75 would equal a positive 4x when I move that around. So my x value is going to equal 75 fourths, which you get to use a calculator, 18.75. So to solve for my y value, y is going to equal 75 subtract 2 times that 18.75, and my y value turns out to be 37.5. So my dimensions would be 37.5 feet by 18.75 feet. Okay. That's the first one. So, looking at the second one. The second one is different because now I want 4 garden regions. So, just drawing it up here so I have a little more space. I want 1, I want 2, I want 3, I want 4. Again, I'm going to call the whole bottom here Y. I want to minimize the amount of fencing. Minimizing the amount of fencing means my primary equation is perimeter. My perimeter is going to equal 2 Y's, 1, 2, top, bottom, left side X, 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 and X. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 X's plus 5X. So that's a little different than that first one. So you need to make sure that you're reading the problems correctly. My secondary deals with the area of it. So they say, hey, the area of the whole thing, area, is my 300 feet, and that equals X times Y. Notice I just put area here to help you see that. You don't need that. 300 equals X times Y. So my y value is going to equal 300 over x. Could have reversed it if you wanted to. So back to my primary equation. For that primary equation, my perimeter now is going to equal 2 times the 300 over x added on to 5x. Again, I don't like that to take the derivative of that, so my perimeter is going to equal 600, and then that x I'm moving up to the top, x to the negative 1 plus 5x. Now that doesn't look too bad. I am going to take my derivative with respect to x, and my perimeter prime is going to equal a negative 600, and it would be x to the negative 2 power, so it's x squared plus 5. And again, I set that equal to 0. So 5 is going to equal 600 over x squared. Algebra time. Cross multiply. So I see that I'm going to get 5x squared equals 600. X squared would equal 120. So x is going to equal the square root of 120, which turns out to be decimally, I have it written down, 10.959. Now, somebody is going to say, shouldn't you have plus and minus? Can you have a negative length? Nope, so it has to be the positive. So, to solve for your y value, I am going to say my y value is going to be 300 divided by that 10.959, and my y value turns out to be 27.386. Okay, so just to recall what we have, I have my x value, either exact form or decimal. You get a calculator. I assume most of you will do decimal. Y value, calculator, or decimal also. Whew. Last two problems. Yay! I'm tired. This is the third time through. So, okay, it says we're making a box. I'm a visual. Here's the box. So create the little box so you can see what's going on in here. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, not a great box. Oh well. It says that I am going to maximize my volume. Now, the one thing I need to make sure that I do before I maximize that volume is I see the base of the box is a square. X, X. The height, never mentioned, is a different. They didn't tell me it was a cube. Okay, so primary equation, if I can put a P instead of a B, primary equation, volume equals x times y. I did not do length, width, and height. I just put it in the terms that I just labeled everything by. Secondary equation says that its length and its girth not more than 120. You're going to make it the box as big as possible. Have it equal 120. So, secondary. Remember, girth is your distance around. So, 4 x's give me the girth, plus the height is y, and it is going to equal 120. Make life easy. Y equals 120 minus 4x. Got it. Wherever I see a y, I'm going to replace it with 120 minus 4x. So my new primary equation is going to be volume equals x times 120 minus 4x. Not taking the derivative in that form, volume equals 120x squared minus 4x cubed. Take the derivative with respect to x because that's what we have it as. And I have my volume prime being 240x minus 12x squared equals 0. You can actually use your calculator for this. You can use PolySolve. The answers will come out. I see that I could factor out a 12x out of everything because I'm a factor type of person. And I see that I would have 20 minus x left equals 0. X would equal 0 and x would equal 20. So if you use PolySolve, that's going to work. Can you have a side of 0? It does not work. Does not work. Okay, so your x value has to be 20, but your y value doesn't have to be. So you need to solve for your y value, and 120 minus 4 times 20, or 80, is going to give me a height of 40 feet. Final dimensions, 20 by 20 by 40. And we were in terms of inches, 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 and inches. You should get used to labeling them. Okay, last one. Again, you need to read the problem because this one is different than what we just did. It's going to maximize something else. So, just making a quick box so you have that idea. It tells us the base of the box again is a square, so I'm labeling it x, x, and y. That is similar, but it says it wants the sum of the length and the girth to be maximized. So in this case, my primary equation is going to be that sum of 4x plus y is what I'm going to maximize. Now, my secondary equation comes in with the numbers. It says its volume's got to be less than 500. So the x times the y has got to equal 500 because you're going to make it as big a box as you can. So get the y by itself. It's the easy thing. That would be 500 over x squared instead of x times x. So in that new primary equation, my sum is now going to turn into 4x plus, ooh, that looks icky, 4x plus 500 over x squared. Don't do it in that form. Sum equals 4x plus 500x to the negative 2. Okay, we're almost there. We're going to take that derivative. So take the derivative with respect to x because that's what we're in. My sum prime is going to equal 4 minus, because that negative 2 is going to come down, 1,000 over x cubed. It gets raised to the negative 3 power, setting it equal to 0. So 4 equals 1,000 over x cubed. Again, I'm thinking of that idea of cross multiply. So when I do that, I end up with 4x cubed equals 1,000. X cubed is going to equal 250. X is going to equal, whatever the cubed root of 250 is, 6.299. Plug that back in here, solve for y. Y is going to equal 12.599. So my dimensions would be, oops, change this to, where did it go? There it goes. Change it to black. My final answer would be 6.299 by 6.299 by 12.599. And these were in terms of centimeters, cms. Okay, ladies and gents, so you've went through this. I hope that you can listen to these. Your test is going to be 7 problems. You've got 14 on here. You should have an idea of what everything is going to be. I hope that this helped, and I hope that you are behaving for your sub. See you guys on Wednesday.